Today, I'm going to be discussing how I made the redstone to this machine. So, if you don't know what this is basically the theorized version of the Squid Game jump rope bridge from season 3, which releases within a few days of me editing or writing this video. And so basically, I'm just going to be talking about the redstone that went behind this, how those traffic lights over there work, and how this dispenser line actually fires on the red light as shown in the short, which I'll link down in the description. So firstly, we have this line of dispensers, which are all full with arrows and will shoot at the player when the light turns red. This is to sort of mimic the jump roping mechanics where a jump rope will swing across the bridge and then knock any players off. I'll play any clips that will sort of resemble or show this, and I'll obviously link credits down below. But anyways, so these dispensers aim to knock any players off that don't jump in time. And right now it's off, as you can see, so all of them are powered, which means none of them will fire. And the redstone repeater line here will activate all these dispensers after the light turns red with a bit of delay. The note blocks behind the dispensers are just there so that you can get a more auditory signal on when the dispensers will fire. And yeah, that's mainly just the sort of knocking off the player's mechanic side of this whole machine. Now we're going to take a look at the redstone that activates both these lights and also this dispenser line. So this is the actual redstone for activating the lights and also the dispenser line, which is this redstone line right here. So first, let's talk about the lights. So these lights were the first thing that I tried to make, and it's basically using alternating slime, honey, redstone blocks to activate these redstone lamps. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't just use observers, because they're much easier to sort of update and move or activate lamps. But one problem that I found, you can't leave an observer on, unlike these pistons here. And the redstone lamps will just flash with observers, but I want the actual lights to stay on until they switch so that the player knows which color they're supposed to be on. So green to go and red to stop. So using pistons and like sticky pistons, honey, slime, and redstone blocks worked a lot better than using observers or like, I don't know, target blocks. And then this redstone line is sort of like the alternating thing that flips the red to the green. I'll play any clips from the short that I've made on this as well, just to show how like the lights alternate back and forth. And so basically, all you got to do is just add a redstone torch to one side, which is green, and then have no redstone torch on the other side, which is the red light. And then this is the hopper clock, which sort of switches back and forth depending on how many items you put in. For the short that I showcased, I put 8 items, which counts for 3 to 4 seconds before the redstone block switches over. And once that happens, usually there's a repeater here, obviously. And then once the redstone block switches to this block here, it'll power the redstone blocks and then flip the redstone torch to be off and this light to be on, which causes the red light to turn off, the red light to turn on and the green light to turn off, and also powers the dispensers to fire inside. Originally, I wanted to use beacon beams to show red or green, but that was before I added this entire blue sort of, I guess, cube or prism that you want. So that was before I added that. So the beacon beams here are kind of useless, but I still wanted to add them in just for, players on the outside if they're just waiting for their turn to see how the game works. I might make a sort of fuller showcase sometime in the future, maybe after season 3 of Squid Game drops, but yeah, so this is just the redstone components. It's nothing too fancy, nothing too much. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one.